Hi, you guys, welcome. So, today we are going to do a reading here, okay? I'm being guided to use specific cards, so let me go get that, okay? So, you guys know that I do mom and dad's energies, okay? So, I did a mom reading, it was a mom side chick energy, and then it was a dad's reading here, okay? I will make a playlist for those, okay? I feel like that's very important. I know it's very important. Okay, and this one's going to be more for, this is going to be for the masculine energy here, okay? Boys, guys, men, and masculine energy. So you could be a girl, but you could be in the masculine energy, okay? So this is about this is about like insecure guys, okay? I was watching The Good Witch here, and I've been like studying the masculine energy, and there's like these women, okay? Honestly, what I'm seeing right now basically is like these women are looking like Amazon women. We're looking like goddesses, okay? Or in the shows they're looking like goddesses, and they're there's a sense of like confidence, like and being more intellectual than the other, okay? And I do see like when they say certain lines here, it makes the guy uncomfortable. They become like cold and distant and almost giving off that abusive vibe here, okay? So we are just going to talk about like basically not their background, like because we all know that's mommy and daddy's issues, but we're just going to see what's going on with their energy here. If you guys feel like you see that as well, okay, like you're trying to basically shapeshift, or you're just trying to like kind of like be under them, okay, and it's not working out. Like no matter what you do, it's just not working out, okay. It is a bit of jealousy, like when a man sees you, or when the masculine energy sees you do that, they become more irritable because they're like, oh, you're trying to play me as stupid, etc., etc. Okay, so we are going to talk a little bit more about that with them, about them here, okay. Because they just all like that, and well, the guys that I've noticed, they're just a lot like that, and they tend to go to women that are, in that same energy. And most of these women are very naive. They're very stupid, okay. They're very naive. They don't really listen. They not really, but they don't listen to their morals and values here. They would like to live for their men and not live for themselves here. It's a lack of respect. They disrespect themselves, these women. And now there's like this, trend now, like, oh yeah, we're supposed to do that because, in the cosmos, they're like as above, so below. So they're like, oh, if we're all like believing and moving in that energy, then in the cosmos is like this as well. And because people don't know the origin, they just follow and they just think that, okay, that's okay, So it's not something that was like a sign from God. It was someone who tolerated it, and it was so influential because a group of people, a group of energies tolerated it, they made it a norm, and that's why it is what it is. Okay? So let's see what's going on with these this masculine energy or this man. Okay? Okay, let's see. Yeah, because we want to be with these guys and we can't. Even in marriage, like we have to be a certain way. And I just did a divine masculine and divine feminine energy read. And in divine feminine's read, well, in divine masculine's read, that was a time where divine masculine was like, hey, be divine feminine. You talk, you do, you say, do what you want to do. Okay, I'm not gonna feel intimidated. I'm not gonna feel insecure. I'm not gonna feel whatever, whatever, because I know now how, and I know what I want to be. So they're fully in the energy of divine masculine energy. And I know that some women, they're like, okay, if I do this, then, maybe he'll wake up, or maybe the divine masculine side will wake up out of them and I won't have to be a certain way, And that shouldn't be the case. And it does start from the family, okay? So there's a bit of like, all right, you know this, you see this, what are you gonna do? And understand that whatever or whoever you are with, this is somebody else's child, okay? So you cannot drag them across the living room floor, disrespect them, punch them in their face and just be like, okay, yeah, because I don't want to awaken my divine masculine with her, I'm just gonna go do that. This is somebody else's child. Not to say that they should, protect themselves or all, but just be very knowledgeable, okay, and very aware, okay, and that we should strongly stop accepting women getting their ass beat, drag across the living room floor, and just be like, hey, there's something wrong with them. That's okay. Let's just take a, turn the other cheek approach. There should definitely be something about it. And I'm not saying for us to put them in jail. They need therapy. And then mom and dad need to take accountability for their relationship. Okay? For their relationship. So we have soul time and we have crown chakra here. We have 407, so 407 could be important here. This is like a hotel number. Like somebody live on the fourth floor and they got the hotel number 407. This is very important here. Okay, but I'm getting with the soul time here, something's developing, some karma, something's developing here. Okay, the frequency of soul time asks us to allow possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the body is mortal, okay, soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Okay, so there's a new reality that's developing. Okay, we have crown chakra, which is about understanding. I understand. The frequency of crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into life here. Okay, there's a lack of understanding. They don't have enough information. Okay, and like I said, this starts from birth. This starts from the mom and the dad. Overall energy is compassion. There's a lack of compassion. So therefore, if there's a lack of compassion, there's a lack of fertility. They don't know something, they get laughed at. And if you guys been with a man, okay, not a boy, because a boy hides. If you guys been with a man, they confront the energy and they actually look like they're a novice. Okay, and then when they do know, they look more like, okay, I know what I'm talking about. They look like a divine masculine. They look like us women, okay, knowledgeable, confident in the way how we walk, talk, and act. Okay. So with compassion, the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and to be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world here. Okay, so I know you guys are feeling like I'm talking about like surface stuff here, but this is a really deep message here because this is where incest comes from. Okay, this is where child molestation comes from. Okay, and etc. And what the parents do to the masculine energy here, or the man and or both here, this is developing. Okay, and it's for own selfish gain sometimes with parents, and their sons come out a certain way. But then with, hold on. She's like, when I start talking, she's just like, you gotta learn, mama. It's so cute, baby. Yes, I'm back. So yeah, this is like for selfish gain, okay, with the moms and the dads here. Okay, yeah. So yeah, and we think that it's the men's fault. It's the man's fault. And it's not. Now, when a man leaves actually the atmosphere of a little boy, right? Even a little girl here, but this is not really about the little girls here, because the little girls, they actually kind of like learn on their own. They have their own, like, understanding here. They put two and two together here. But for the little boy here, but I'm not excluding them, because there are women out there who needs their dad, right? But with the little boy here, the little boy are they're more physical, like they need to physically see a man, okay, versus like them just kind of like picturing it and using a common sense here, okay. I say, I know some might have some backlash here, but I say that the men leaving that atmosphere, it doesn't do as much damage, because the little boy, they do not know anything. They're seeing what is outside, but it's also like a protection, because it's like, that's not my dad. But with little boys, what they see is patterns. So if all of the men or divine masculines do the same thing, then they're going to develop that pattern, right? They're going to say, this is a man. And that's what's happening here. Okay. But those problems are easy to solve, because it's just like change the energy. And the energy starts actually with the man actually physically being in the home. Okay, so these child molesters, child molesters, porn nigga, porn nigga, you hear me? Um, um, Pornographic, okay, with like with children and stuff like that, it starts home. Okay, that's because the child, we all know in psychology, that's because the child is being tampered with the mom and the dad. And the mom and the dad, when the FBI or when people come to them and they're like, oh, what are you talking about? Neglection is also a form of traumatizing the child as well. It's so many things to it, but it's so easy. Okay, that's why we say, oh, if you can't take care of your child, don't have one. Okay, that's why child services is there, etc., etc. But there's the collective. There are certain people in the collective, or there are certain energies in the collective that wants to continue this energy, because they want men to be in a, they want men to control them. But then we all get to this point, or these women get to this point, where they actually want to get married, or they want this person to be faithful. Okay, and that's not gonna happen if you were on A and you were controlling that, and you was manifesting that, and now you want to be on B, and then you think that you're gonna have that. And then it goes so far to the point where it's like, okay, well, he's that way with me, I'm okay. He's B with me, I'm okay. But if he's A somewhere else, then that's my protection. I need protection, and that's not okay, because if you did A right and you have B, you wouldn't need any protection, because there's no need to think that way, right? So this compassion energy, she is so cute. This compassion energy, there needs to be more of it, and it needs to start from birth. And men, they think they slick, okay? They need to take accountability for the fact that they're being, I don't want to say they're being lazy, but they think, that's why I said they think that they slick. I don't have the right, I can't find the right vocabulary, because this is so easy, because your father's not in the household. Remember, that's way much easier, because you could picture and you look at God. Your father's not in the house anymore. Your father left. Not it's not great, but it's a blessing, because now you can take it outside upon of yourself to go look at men. You're not gay. You're not any of those sorts. You're looking at those men. You take what those characteristics. You take what's consistent, and you become, the man here. But also use your discernment, which means you need to make it make sense. Okay. If this person is going out and getting buff, and they're like, oh, that's a man, and they're an asshole to their women here, and that's consistent, does that make any sense? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. If this person is nice, and nice is based off of the individual, if they're cooked, they clean, they pay your bills, they do all this, does that make any sense if you're hitting your woman? And then if she still allows you guys to, or drag you across the moving floor, okay, and if she still allows you guys to be back in their life, I'm not trying to, read between the lines, I'm not, okay, it's just an example, but just want to make it aware though. If you guys are, if this person is still allowing you back into their life here, it's because they want you to understand that I'm there for you. And when you go through this phase, I will be here, because I'm here. I'm here to support you. And I essentially want to have this picture with you here. Okay, but I know that things take time. A lot of people blame it on, oh, because the father wasn't home. It has nothing to do with that. Because a little boy, they become a man right there. Now they're responsible. You want to be a boy, you want to be a older guy, you want to be a mid, you're responsible to look and see what a man is, but make it make sense, right? You don't need to be hitting your girl. You don't need to be doing anything. And then men be thinking that, oh, I'm gay. You're not gay. You just get judged so much to the point where you think it's gay. And you just go into a community where it's very feminine, where there's a lack of judgment. It's very compassionate. The LGBTQ, we're open, we're accepted, and we are very compassionate. We're very open minded. But if you had that from birth, maybe there would be a decrease. Okay, because there's some people I know. I know, like, I mean, I wasn't on that path where I was like, oh, I think I'm gay, but I did go through that period where I'm like, oh, I think I'm gay. Maybe I like the same sex, And I came to find out, did this whole little situation. I was like, yeah, I'm not gay. I mean, you guys can read between the lines of my, sexuality. but they go through this period where it's like, I'm not gay, I'm bisexual, I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, yeah, so now you just publicly announced that you were this, or it has something to do with public announcement, but that's also a huge factor for some people too, especially if they're in the LGBTQ and they just told people that, oh, I'm gay. You can't just be like, oh yeah, and then there's this big movement where they're like, oh, this is exactly why we say that you need to put your gender, if you're transgender, on your driver's license or blah, 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 blah. Because if you could change your sexuality and you're like, oh, this is me at birth, it just doesn't, it just makes things more confusing when there's a lack of understanding of yourself, okay? So these men, they need more compassion in here. And I'm not talking about like, oh, be compassionate within our situation. Yes, they do be like, oh my God, you're so sweet. Oh my God. Like, I'm not making fun of anybody, but it's like, they do have that period, they do go through those moments, but it needs to be more like, I don't know, it needs to be more serious. Okay, because after you're compassionate within them, like if you have a conversation and you're compassionate and you understand, you're not judging them, and they go back to being a dick, and yeah, it's habitual, yeah, it's a habit within them here, but again, it's because they're comfortable and also what other people see, and because they live in a society where men, they all do that, they don't want to be an outlier, which means they don't want to be the only eyeball out. So this is a lot of this has a lot to do with, like, men's responsibility to change themselves here. Okay, and there are some men that are like out there and they're doing it, and they're like, oh, they get jumped physically, they get bullied, and that shouldn't be the case. And they're like, oh, follow the trend, this is the trend for a reason. No, it's not. You have to use your discernment on what trends are naturally there for a reason and what trends are just, oh, because someone was being lazy. Okay, because I will tell you for a fact here, I started a trend and everybody thought that, it was for divine masculine's energy. And it wasn't for divine masculine energy, because divine feminine energies, we have so much for support, for food, for, roof over our head. It wasn't for that. It started with a divine feminine, and then a whole bunch of divine masculine started coming, and I'm like, whoa. Okay, it's really weird. Okay, it's just like, it's very interesting. And usually the numbers of the people that comes, you can tell their history, what I'm saying? This is why, and when you go up there, they say don't touch things in the store, don't wear certain things in the store, because it tells you, it's showing you, you're telling other people what happened since birth. Now everybody want to know, now everybody want to tell people their information, their business, right? So what I'm saying is, it's the man's fault. And it's not because a man left or the mother's not as involved, okay? Because we all know when they're little boys, the boy instantly, they go see a man and like, okay, well, my mom is not always with me, so I'm gonna have to do this myself, okay? Like when they go take the garbage out, they gotta do that themselves. Their mom is not out there in the hallway watching them, right? So, it's not the mom's fault, okay? It's not. But when a mom wants to sexually be attracted to the son and all that extra stuff, that is the mom's fault. Because the mother knows of her being 30 or 40 or however age, even the journey of you being pregnant, the mother knows exactly what she is doing. Okay, you're clearly taking advantage of somebody who's supposed to be studying, practicing, and you're over here want to be a child molester or you want to create incest with your son. Same thing with the guys, with the moms as well, because we're talking about divine masculines as well. The guys with the little girls, right? The guys with the sons. Sorry, the guys, the divine masculines with the sons, or the men with the whatever. But divine masculine, divine feminine. That's but we're specifically talking about men, okay? Boys turning into man, a man. So, um, anything of that sort, yeah. A man beating a girl's ass, that is because they just didn't do their homework. They were focusing on other things and they learned so fast and they just like, I'm gonna be lazy and I'm just, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those situations. It's impulsive, okay? If you want me to go down a list, okay, a guy being a child molester, with his daughter, his son, you know what I'm saying? You should look at the mom, okay, especially if it was a single parent household, or if the father wasn't really there, okay, or the father treats the mother a certain way. It's the mom, okay. And the father, they have their own little problems, but it's not being a child molester. Okay, they're probably a man beater or a woman beater, or they're probably someone who's lazy. They probably are someone who's going through depression or anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Um, a man that turned into a killer, right? Some people said like, okay, yeah, like they these are two people that had a lot of love, okay, but people who go out and kill people here, it's like you didn't spend enough time with me. You didn't spend enough time with me here, and they're very emotional. It's a judgmental environment here, suppression, um, all that extra stuff here. Okay, so it's and usually with those situations here with the killers and everything, that's a form of like you're being lazy. Okay, if you're emotional here, you got to take the mom. This is when the mom comes in. Okay, for those serious cases, for those every all of those variables are serious, but for those cases, the mom is supposed to come in and detect their emotional state. Okay, the mom is supposed to come in and give reason. And if they're not doing that, if they're not doing any of that, and they're just sitting their ass there and they're just saying go do chores like a divine masculine would tell the little boy, they ain't doing it right. This is why I say stay in school. And people you may be hearing like, oh, stay in school, this and that and third, because school installs a system. It's not just like, oh, you go to work every day. It's not about that. The uniform, the teachers, how they teach, what they teach, it has a lot to do with what we're talking about. You becoming a man, you becoming a woman. It's not segregation, it's of you knowing of your sex. You knowing of how your thoughts, you understanding the definition. It's like school is like the definition of words. What is a table? And then it's reflected, or you carry that practice with yourself, with your body, you know what I'm saying? And your crown chakra, you becoming a man, you becoming a woman. Okay, so this compassion, I know it seems like a little bit, but it has maybe you should, it has a lot, it's a lot, honey. And maybe you guys should stop, like, being compassionate with your man. The advice would be like, stop being compassionate with your man. And as a collective, as a all, tell the man to be responsible. And this is a this is a non-judgmental environment. I'm not judging you. I'm just gonna have my opinion, but I'm not judging you. Hold on. Yeah, so yeah, let them know. I'm back. So let them know that this is a non judgmental environment and you need to take accountability, responsible to weed out the weeds and take the nutrients from being a man according to society. Okay? It's also common sense as well. Like, obviously, a woman cannot lift, I don't know, like 3 boxes 15 tons out of 50 tons or something like that, and the man can. You know what I'm saying? Start with that. Start with the most common sense thing, okay? But for you as a woman, a whole has to do this, okay? This is why men are like, they're like, oh, we like dumb down women. You know what I'm saying? Those women, no, they're making it worse. Okay, those are you stay there temporarily. Okay, you do not create a fucking system based off of your energy. Are you insane? This is why we have what we have. If just talk about like killing the race, you know what I'm saying? Like Noah's Ark, duh. Like you gotta be kidding me, honey. Okay, nowadays like a lot of people be taking like that shit and they be running with that, and I'm like, yo, you gotta like did you go to school? Like, what do you do? How do you talk? And then how do you talk? Like, that's not necessarily like depicting, like concluding, the conclusion. But I mean, but it's sometimes good to ask. Cause like, do you talk like that all the time? Do you like make sense of things like that all the time? Like, you know, what's your name and social security? I'm like, yeah, like no, for real, like those don't be that way for real, because that's not working out. Because men, they be looking all cold and and I'm like, whoa, King of Swords, no, like knocking on heaven's door, yes. But yeah, no, for real. As a woman, create an environment where it's a non-judgmental environment here. We have to do this all together, so that way the men can go out there and they can decipher, take the weeds out, and become a man. And this is someone who, and the man actually is supposed to actually be feminine. They're not supposed to be feminine, like the female products and all. But when you see a man doing that, they need to calibrate. You know what I'm saying? Because unless they're just coming out that they're gay, okay, and yeah, but it's not supposed I choose these words wisely. It's a vibe where it's a vibe where it's the most basic thing, and also it's an environment where it's a structure, okay? It's Men are like the ability of knowing. I see, yes, they are the ability of knowing, when you just know something, okay? And that has a lot to do with like logic. Instead of just saying, oh, this goes here, it's just like knowing, like intuition. You know what I'm saying? That is men. And if your man is not that, okay, because we all know those kind of men, and they do look like men. Okay, like they do look very serious. You don't want to fuck with them. Let him do his own thing, okay? They look like that, okay? If your man or your boyfriend is not looking like that, I was gonna say obviously, but that's not true, because when they're young, they could develop that. It's just their body's just young, especially if things is passed down to them. But yeah, like when they look like, that's how you know you got that one. And that one, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be that they should be perfect. They're entitled to be emotional because they don't know everything, right? And they also may need to know how to like calm their emotions down, okay? But if you have a man who calms their emotions down, they're in that energy of knowing, then you have a winner here. And most people say that, oh, that's white men, or that's people up on a high class. You know what I'm saying? They do not hit their woman. They expect that their woman is taking care of everything in the home, if they are paying the bills here, yada yada yada. It's that kind of like structure. I'm not saying that's dumb, because but I know that a man is a knowing energy, okay? And it should be stern, it should be flowy, and it should look like, like basically head of household, okay? A protector, a provider. But I don't like saying all that like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why men are like, well, I don't want to be like that all the time. Yeah, you don't got to be like that all the time, because women are very strong as well. We're not just there to just sit there and explain to you all the time. We do heavy work as well. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the more common sense one is like, okay, this is heavy as shit. And because men have more mass than us, then it's like, yeah, so this is clearly your department. And that doesn't mean that women should not work at those kind of jobs. They can. It's just. But the more common sense is too, like, if a woman is not in that mass region, then, you know what I'm saying? But there are women who have that kind of mass like men, and bones like, I don't know if the bones is, but they have that kind of mass, that weight. They can still do it, even though their bones and everything is not like that, but they can still do it, okay? There should be like a contest who can lift more, and obviously the woman should get in, right? So yeah, that's what this is about here. Yep, that's what this is about. Um, and I just thought that we should talk about that, so that way, as a collective, women, divine feminines, could push the men to be in that energy of knowing, not just tolerate being a side chick. And believe me, I know somebody, and listen, they like being a side chick, and I'm like, do you know what that means? Do you know what you're saying? And you have a son, or you have like a daughter, or you have like, I'm like, yo, shorty, like, I think you really need to like think about what you just said and how you identify yourself. Like, you're not, and then you want the justice system to come in and help you because there's a man that's whipping your ass, punching you in your face, raping you, and you like that stuff. What do you don't understand what you're talking about? You're old. You're like, how old are you? And you talk like that. You don't understand what you're saying. Like, no judgment, but it's like, let me educate you. And then when I'm educating you here and I'm giving you this knowledge, I don't really care. But you sit down in your room and you think about it, and you're over here, you want to spread the word to other people. That doesn't make any sense. Like, no judgment, but it's just like, you should check yourself. It's like, think before you speak, right? Just like you used to tell me all the time. Or think before you speak. Just like everybody says to everybody. This is not just like personal. This is also like other people, that I've known too. And I'm like, hey, listen, this is not going to work out. That's why it helps to have good friends. Because it's like, when that man is whipping your ass, your sister, your brother, or a friend that comes in and they're like, listen, it's not okay for you to whip somebody's ass. And they always talk to them about like, hey, maybe next time instead of whipping this person's ass, you should go talk about it, go take a walk outside. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not really her. She's just acting like a divine feminine, standing up for herself. Yeah, she's being an asshole, but it's like, you're way down there. You're not understanding why she's like that. And if you did understand, maybe you wouldn't be acting like that or want to drag a woman across the street. I mean, damn, that's a lie. But it's like that shit. You know what I'm saying? But maybe like you wouldn't want to drag across a woman across the living room floor for somebody who's a side bitch. Literally. They're in a whole different relationship. And you want to go so hard for somebody else? That's not my fault. And that's not the side bitch fault. That's your mother's fault. And that's you for not doing the work. Sorry. So, yeah, that's all pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much all that needs to be said. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to make a playlist because things is getting juicy. Okay, that's all that I have for you guys here. I hope you guys enjoy it. Someone's telling me to pull out one more card for these activations to end it. This is my card. We have discernment 20. Interesting. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. Use your discernment with this man that's in your life here. I'm telling you this for a reason. And also, this looks like a blue alien, a Palladian, who is using their mouth, their throat chakra. Okay? I'm actually wearing a blue shirt here. But the way how it's coming out, it's not a wave, it's a circle. It's coming out like what they're talking, how they're talking, it's coming out of a circle. It's a blue, and it's green, and it's yellow, and it's white in the center. The overall energy is cosmic flower. This could be about your vagina. We also have third eye too behind that. Cosmic flower, 18. Okay, the frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world here. Okay, so this is saying that when this man talks to you here, when this man talks to you here, when this divine masculine talks to you here, make sure you remember your mores and your values here. Your mores and your values are the cosmic flower. It is the center. It's how you grew up. This is what you accept and what you don't accept. This is what you tolerate and this is what you don't tolerate. This is a warning saying that whatever a man is telling you, I feel like this is after the video or just in general. Make sure that you are protecting. Make sure you are checking in with yourself here. The fact that we have third eye, I will read this to you as well. The frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing. This is that masculine energy, the man energy. Our imagination and our psychic powers here. This is also number 6, and we have magic here. This divine masculine or this man is going to say something here. This is like read between the lines. What is this person really saying? And the reason why you feel like something's off, because the way how you grew up, this is also answering my question with that ex-best friend and that ex-boyfriend. I didn't understand it, but this is answering my question, my thoughts, right? The way how your third eye, the cosmic flower, when you feel like something's off, is because of it's not matching up with your mores and your values here. I know it's very basic, but we forget sometimes. So if you feel like this man's conversation, or if you feel like I'm off, then my mores and values don't match it. But also use your discernment too as well. Sometimes it's like the movie Lucy. There are things inside of her when she went full on 100% here, in her body naturally. She said that sales is fighting against her upgrading, her becoming transcending into a different energy. Understand that what I'm saying to you here, that could be what's going on with you. Okay, but this is saying that there's a man, maybe a 20-year-old or maybe a Sagittarius judgment energy. You need to use your discernment and your third eye, because your third eye is going to pick up that this person ain't who they say they are. If they're giving you a certain vibe, make sure you send this person out of your home. Make sure you are within your lane. It's your apartment. If it ain't your apartment, you need to get the fuck out. Because what they're saying is not matching up with your cosmic flower. It's not matching up with your mores and values here. If you say, if this is like that, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not, I think I'm going to put that at the bottom too. If it ain't matching up with those stuff, because that's like mores and values here, and you feel like something off, and you say to this person, thou shalt not this and that and third, and you feel like this person about that life, honey, something off. Something, this person, I'm telling you, honey, they real flexible. They're gymnastic. They do gymnastic, okay? And we have magic and conception here. I'll read this for you here, but I feel like this is not as important, but maybe for some of you guys it's important here. This is 31 here. This could be a 31-year-old. Magic. The frequency of magic supports our instinct ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move forward, to move towards possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in their manifestation. So this person trying to make you do something that you don't want to do. We have conception here. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focus, awareness, and intentions here. Be careful what someone's trying to tell you to do. Be careful of what somebody brings up to you here. This is a form of direction here. Okay. Hey, I think I'm going to come over. Hey, I think I'm going to let's get married. If you feel like something's not right with your mores and values here. It's not romantic. If you feel like, if you're like, oh, I want to be romantic, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy proposed, but it wasn't romantic. They had an agenda. That's it. And your job is to find that out for yourself. You don't got to confront them, but your job is to find that out. And you need to give this person compassion. And this person will be right on their journey and be like, okay, well, they're either going to be like, okay, how else can I get her? Or they may be like, you know what? I could clearly tell if they're a man, if they're on that level. I could clearly tell shorty catching on. So I'm gonna do the job by doing processing elimination. I'm not gonna stick with that weed. Okay, if this person decides to stay with you, I'm gonna take that weed away, and I'm gonna actually be the right man, because she caught me. She caught me. But if they continue doing it, then that means that there's a sense of habit. It's a habit, and that they don't respect you here. You look like something. You need to show this person that I'm dead ass about my morals and values here. And there's a sense of I don't understand when you keep smiling and something happened here. They're like, oh, so can I do it again? No. You have to show them I'm not tolerating that. But I still want to allow myself to smile at the end of the day. Listen, and you need to, if you are happy for me, I ain't gonna be all cute and buddy with somebody else's mother or somebody else's father, because that was your job. Now I gotta be your mom. And then guys, they get upset because I be like, I'm not your mom, and they look at me like, huh, like what you trying to say? If you, it shouldn't be an insult. It's not an insult, it's just facts. Because if you were the guy that I want you to be here, I'm not asking you to be a bad boy. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm not asking you to do much. Boy, it wouldn't be like that. It's not an insult. Clearly your mother didn't do too well. Clearly you didn't do your job. And that's why you're an asshole. But then you want to go to somebody else? It's okay. You want to go to somebody else because I was just explaining that. Because you smiling and not equals to this person. Oh yeah, like, I guess she's going to allow me to do that. No, they don't understand. They're unaware. And then when you do tell them, there's like, okay, maybe I still can. It's their mother's fault. They need to do the work, because in them doing all that work, they would understand like, okay, well, I understand what that means if somebody just want to keep smiling, but they said no. No means no. I don't want that shit to happen. If I say sometimes that I want it to happen sometimes, you're divine feminine. Like what you say is what you're saying. A side chick is going to be like, okay, yeah, well, they don't know themselves. So that's what that energy is. You know yourself, and this person thinks that you don't know yourself, trying to like fuck with you. This is a whole little situation, man. We're not in it. We're not going through a whole little situation yet. But that's their mama's fault. Like I always say, it's their mama's fault. It's not the father's fault if they left the home, but it's the father's fault if they there. It's a big responsibility. And that's why they say kids are a legacy. Lifelong legacy. What you want to teach your kid? All right, so that's all that I have for you guys here. I hope you guys enjoy. I could tell this is very empowering and empowered for you guys here, because I saw it. I just cut the deck and it says empowerment, earth energy. And then I think it said, yeah, empowerment, and it says consciousness. Okay, so that's all that I have for you guys here. I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to like and subscribe and to share, and I will see you guys next time. My kid, she is so cute. I gotta feed her, breastfeed her. I already fed her, so I gotta breastfeed her. So bye guys. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye.